Well, sometimes when you get down there, things are just a little different. Today was definitely, it looked not stormy, but whatever was going on with the water clarity was not perfect, but still ended up finding some life. And today, no gun, no pole spear, just recording. Really get to relax and enjoy and let the fish come in. Play the game of spot the greenling. Before it moves, their camo is just way too good. Here's a nice little female greenling. And behind her, switching positions, is a little white spotted greenling. Kind of cute, the way they sit. And so I started walking up on this ledge. There's a bunch of crazy little sponges and corals and a bunch of life on top of it. Some scallops that are kind of all around it. And overall, just this area was so full of life because there's a ton of current that sweeps through there, and it's held together by this little bit of stronger sandstone right beside this big patch of sand. And you can see the scallops there just clogged in. So I think they swim in because they live their initial part of their life just in the sand. And then they clip, they swim over to something solid and they glue on top. So that's an excellent place for them to really develop. And in front of us is a painted greenling. This is the third time I've actually ever been able to see it, and the second time I've caught them on film. So today was a lucky day. And it's interesting because in the spring and summer, they tend to be a little bit more red and white. But this time of year, they're kind of brown and white. I mean, I swear by that camouflage. You can barely see it if you don't really focus on it. And just in this little cave, I'm not sure what these are. I'm guessing baby juvenile rockfish, but they're just hanging out. They've been spawned out into this world and they're just enjoying their little cave. Nice place for security. And the colors are quite vibrant. Just the yellows, the oranges, the reds. They really pop. So that one there on the rock, the little scallop, it was definitely quite young. Probably swam over there, maybe this year even. And this little ledge always tends to hold urchins, and these things are probably the size of, let's say, half a basketball. They are massive. And more of these little rockfish. There must have been some kind of spawning event recently in this area that just populated all these little rockfish. And I was trying to figure out if I could leave the camera down there and do my breathe up, but fortunately, couldn't get it to stick. And so today, kind of tipped myself off. These perch were moving in a kind of an erratic way. It seemed like they were being hunted by somebody. And it definitely wasn't me today. So I kind of started feeling like I'm being watched. You have this kind of mammal reflex when you feel like you're being watched, but you can't see what's watching you. I just had this whole feeling starting from when those perch cruised by. But I decided it's okay. Keep doing some drops on this ledge. It's not that deep. Found this tons of little rockfish and crabs hanging out in front of this octopus den, probably eating the scraps that this guy leaves behind. And I decided to just do a little more filming in front of him. You can see that crab going hands in the air, like you don't care. They're very sensitive to the light, I've noticed. And there's a nice little scallop on top there too, so if you're wondering how to train your scallop eye, just try to find them in these videos. It's the easiest way to really try and train your eyesight to spot these things when you go down there on a limited breath hold. And these little rockfish decided the octopus's cave is safer than being closer to me, so that's fair enough. Some more beautiful scallops. Some more beautiful uni. And by this point, I was starting to get a little kind of sketched out. I just kept feeling less and less comfortable down there. I just felt like something was watching me. And I don't know, maybe this little rockfish that was in that cave I didn't even see until the recording kind of tipped me off. But here he or she is. No, I'll call it a little seal boy. And this is the culprit. this is who was spooking the perch and who was spooking me. And regardless of what I know people say, but once one of these guys is curious, there's no way you're going to lose them. They're going to keep swimming around you because they got all day. You're in their house. They're just going to come check you out as much as they want. In the beginning, he was a little skittish, but started coming in a little bit more, a little bit more. Give me little puppy dog eyes. And he probably just maybe thought I was some kind of really retarded seal, because I was on the surface doing way too much surface time. He was telling me to come down and hunt some perch with him, but I decided just to get down, hit the bottom, camouflage myself in the kelp, and he just started doing little loops around me. And you can see his attention is between me and the perch. He's not sure who to focus on a little bit more. So I hit him with some grunts. I tell him I'm important too. And unfortunately, unlike in other places in the world, I don't think the grunts really do anything out here. And so I find this giant school of perch, and they're all schooled up together, big, small, pile, striped, they're all together. Safety numbers, and I mean, it kind of makes sense. There's this time of year, their only ability to evade these predators is to school up nice and tight and try to trust each other's movements to have a chance of escaping these seals, because they cruise effortlessly. If you're a single little perch out there, you're gonna get snacked on. But I give them the old technique: blow yourself down to kelp, don't kick, relax, hit the bottom. And I was surprisingly stealthy enough that nothing really spooked around me, even though they were already on edge. So I got to enjoy a little bit more time with the fishes. And in the background, you can see him still cruising through, going leftwards. Little menace. So I figured after that point, like, there's no point of filming anybody else. He wants to be the center of attention, so that's okay. I will give him all the limelight. Just amazing to see how agile they are. He ended up looking at me above the water a couple times. I looked at him, grunted at him above the water. He looked at me. Kind of cute little bugger. Just so graceful in the water. I do wish I could do the surface interval that these guys do. 1 minute down, 5 seconds up. I guess they're just built different. So one thing I started noticing is that their eyesight isn't a lot better than what I got. So I thought he went left, but obviously he knew where I was, and he ended up actually going right. So I spin my camera around when I finally noticed him coming through. So definitely evolutionarily, he's a better swimmer and he can see better. So I'm definitely not in a good spot if he was going to come eat me. But fortunately, he's the size of probably a 10-year-old. So cute. He's trying to chase the perch. He's coming over to me, telling me, hey, I chased him into you. You gonna eat? But no. Gosha's not hungry today. It's probably my favorite clip, with all of them just getting spooked by this little guy. Give this a little wave. And heads back out. The other thing I really did start noticing is the second they see your eyes, they tend to back off a little bit. So as the day went on, I started getting a little bit better at not looking directly at them, kind of looking at them from the corner of my eye, and that allowed them to come in a little bit more and be a little bit more comfortable. So here's a prime example that I pretended to just look to the right side and let him just swim over to my fins. And then I got deked out by him again, but no matter. I notice him at my fins again, because that's probably where he feels most comfortable. Let the little guy come in. Definitely tends to look at you a lot more when you're not looking back. And honestly, at this point, it was pretty dang cold out there. I decided to have one last little drop and then head on home. And this little bugger followed me all the way out to 2 feet of water. And he got incredibly scared when I stood up. The most startled I've seen him on this whole day. I guess he maybe did think I was a little seal and I stood up. That was very unnatural.